Perfect. Perfect time.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tuck Rule Takes, episode 175 of Tuck Rule Takes. Episode 175. Gang is all here once again. Stellar attendance. Everybody, props to everybody for showing up. Liam's here, Al's here. I'm Mike. I'm here as well. Sorry if my mic is a little off. I had technical difficulties before coming on. Ripped my mic out of my desk. So in a fit of rage because the Patriots have upset me so much because they traded Joe Milton. Just kidding. That's not me. That's Liam. But
Bitch.
not a ton to talk about today. There was some
Something about you,
move.
Mike. You got a glow about you right now. I don't know what it is. You look like a very happy
I don't
man.
know. I don't know what happened here, which is crazy because then I get all mad and I do the mic. I don't know. Maybe I should have took my
Yeah.
anger out on someone else.
Something more productive.
Perhaps. But we are here. We are here thanks to two things. Coach Guy Sports. Go check them out. The OGs of all this. They're the ones who gave us our start. Al, I say it every time you were a part of it. CoachGuySports.com. Go check them out. There's a bunch of things going on, sports related on that site. If you like the Celtics, Liam has a podcast on there as well, The Rafters. So go take a look at that. Hopefully, the Celtics hang another banner up in those rafters this season, which, I mean, I think it's all but a certainty that they will. Coach Guy Sports, go check them out. Also, Sports Spider with a Y. You hear me say it every week. Go check them out. Go to the NFL tab up top, click Patriots. You'll see us right at the top. If we're not there, scroll down a little bit and we will be right there. Big thanks to Coach Guy Sports and Sports Spider. But before we get into any news the Patriots may have made this week, do you guys have anything you want to talk about? Get off your chest before we let Liam cry.
Pretty good basketball game last night. I fucking hate Duke. I was psyched to see them go down.
Yeah, what talk
Yeah,
about an all-time choke job. Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
I
If you
honestly
guys
thought
want
it
to
was the
have your
hustle
five
of
minutes or
Houston.
whatever, do it.
I
I
thought it
didn't
was
watch
the
the game.
hustle of Houston. I thought Houston crushed it. Like down, 15 points like twice in the game, and then just stealing inbounds left and right, smothering them. And it doesn't help that, Duke are a bunch of entitled, preppy douchebags who now have to go cry in their Ferraris and $400,000 apartments.
True. If you guys were Cooper Flag, would you go back for another year, try to win a title? Or would you just go right to the NBA and
Fuck
play for the
no.
No, the
crappy
hype's at an all-time
Wizards?
high.
Fuck
Yeah.
no. Because what happens if you go back and you have like a subpar year, or God forbid you get hurt?
Yeah,
Nah.
get hurt.
Nope.
Yeah,
Nope. Take advantage of it. Take the
not
money
worth
you'll
it.
get to. Yeah.
Yeah, dude's from Maine, probably lives in squalor. All the people who live up in like New Hampshire and Maine, they're all destitute, sad individuals. So he needs this paycheck. Get his
Or
Yes.
he could
dad
just
off.
get NIL deals at Duke if he really wanted to.
Yeah, that's true. Anything to get his dad off the lobster boat.
Um, yeah. Like I said, I didn't watch. I heard it was a good game though. I
It
heard,
was.
they had issues in inbounding the ball, which was funny.
Yeah.
I watched those clips.
I just needed somebody in it that I can root for because Florida's in it, and you guys know my stance on the University of Florida. I think they're fucking disgusting. They're certainly not as bad as those inbreds up in Tallahassee, but they're not much better. And then if it was them against Duke, who am I supposed to root for in a championship game? I would have to root for the latter, a natural disaster, which has been pretty common this year, so I would like my odds. But nope. H-Town all the way, baby. I'm riding with it. Some of the best barbecue in the United States and undoubtedly number one, unmatched in the strip club department. I'm Houston all the way.
I'll go
Never
opposite
bet
of
you
you
a
just for fun. I'll go the Florida route.
Care
Gator
to care,
Chomp.
care to toss a bet? Little $5 wager here.
Sure, why not?
Look at that.
Ooh, you heard it
Fuck your
here
Gator
first.
chump. I'll be doing this. Fuck the Gators. All of
All
them.
right.
Bunch of criminals.
Um, so it's pretty much confirmed though. Cooper Flag's going first, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
Like, there's
100%.
no way. There's no
yeah.
way. Okay.
Which I actually don't think he's going to be that good in the league. He's like
I
a
was just gonna ask, do you think he's gonna
yeah.
pan out?
He's a Gerald Henderson. He's really good at everything, not really good at one thing.
Good at everything, not great at any, not great at one
Yeah.
thing. Damn. Yeah. Well,
Not
we'll
physical
see.
enough. all those talking points that those 80-year-old people use to describe the game nowadays compared to the days where they watched Bob Cousy smoke cigarettes on the side of the court. All those words I will use to describe Cooper Flag. I think he's fine. Like he's certainly fun to watch. Actually had a pretty damn good game yesterday. That reverse layup, Al, was fucking nuts.
right now.
But like also he missed what would have been the go-ahead shot, so fuck him. And he also goes to Duke. And much like I hate Christian Laettner, I hate Cooper Flag.
I keep wanting to say Cooper Cup.
Speaking of Celtics, real quick, have you guys seen the Celtics documentary on HBO Max? Celtic
No.
City.
My girlfriend canceled her subscription. Absolutely despicable. Now I can't watch Bourdain.
I didn't watch
Well,
it. Is it good? I know Ben Simmons did it, I believe, right? He was the one who, or
you
his
mean Bill
company.
Simmons?
Bill Simmons. Yeah, who's Ben? Oh, no, not Ben Simmons. Bill Simmons did it, right?
Ben Simmons
Sorry,
would just
guys,
be
my mind's
like,
everywhere right
I
now.
should
My
have
bad.
gone to the Celtics, da 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 da, but I didn't. I went to Philly. No, really, really good so far. I'm up through episode 5, and they're still in the 80s. I want them to get to like the 90s stuff where stuff was like really bad because I want to see like what was going on behind the scenes with like the Patino years and stuff like that. That's the stuff
Mhm.
I want to see because I don't really know much about it. Like we all know about the 80s stuff with winning the 3 championships in the 80s and all that stuff. So,
See, I know
Yeah,
more
I
about the
didn't.
90s just because they had employee number 8, one of my favorite Celtics
oh,
ever.
Antoine Walker.
Yeah, Cybertwan. Oh, I
Mhm.
fucking loved him.
Oh my
And like,
God.
Cybertwan?
yeah,
I've never heard that.
The little Twan shimmy whenever he would hit a
yeah,
big
Yep.
big
Hmm.
three.
100%, which Steph Curry took and made it super flamboyant and not fun at all. But yeah, like Rick Pitino basically drafted all the guys that he coached in college. Like it was Walter McCarty, Antoine, and shit, Tony Delk, I think it was, who sucks.
Yeah.
And they just fucking blew through the 90s. Yeah, the I fucking hate Rick Pitino, like all time. I despise that man.
He
When
has
they
a
got
hateable
bounced from the
face.
tournament, I was psyched 100%. He's just
Very.
a very diminutive, angry dude. I'm sure
Mhm.
you can relate, Mike, but like he's just, not the kind of guy that you root for.
Yeah. Speaking of the Celtics documentary, did you guys know that the Red Sox had basically like a Hard Knocks thing coming out on Netflix?
Oh yeah, that's been advertised for like a year now.
I had no idea. I guess it just shows because like I obviously live in Florida. So I haven't. The only time I listened to local radio when I lived up in New England, obviously. But yeah, so I don't get like any sort of local type news. So like the only way I'd get it is if like someone tweeted about it or if I happen to catch like something. Yeah, I had no idea. I was watching something. I think I was watching wrestling. Shut the fuck up, Liam. Wrestling's cool again. I was watching wrestling
Again,
and they had like a preview for it and I was like, do people know about this? So I had to check. Yeah, but no, I'll have to check that out because and I knew that it was new because they had like Bregman in it and everything. So I was like, oh shit, okay, this is like a brand new thing.
No, it was last. It's all last year stuff, and Tristan Casas is at the forefront of it.
Ugh.
Yeah,
are the Sox good?
they're 5-4. They
So they're
won.
not.
Yeah,
They lost the first series to Texas. They beat the Orioles 2 out of 3, and they just beat
which
the
is big.
Cardinals in this series.
Oh, the Orioles are good, right?
Yeah,
Orioles are very good. Yeah,
their
Texas
pitching's
is good
bad
too.
though.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I
yeah.
mean,
Well,
Mike, have you seen their pitching? Their best pitcher is Zach Eflin.
no, Zach Efron, huh? Is
That's
that what
what
you
I thought
said?
he
Yeah,
was gonna
Oh
yeah,
no,
High
say.
no, no,
School
no. I know.
Musical
I heard what you
throwback.
said. I heard what you said.
No,
No.
I know.
I haven't seen with baseball. Like especially now starting up, I can't watch all the games. So like I know about like all the teams and things like that, but no, I haven't like actually seen how bad it is. But I've heard that pitching is going to be their like Achilles heel. But they're still a good team. Just like the Rangers are good too. So I don't know. I mean, granted, they won the first game, and then Al, me and you were talking about it too. They just they needed to win some games because you can't go back home 1-6.
I
So it's a
know.
good thing they came back.
Well, when you have the best hitter in the world in Willie Abreu, I mean that helps a little bit, and you have a freak rookie that you've already signed to like an 8-year contract. Like you better make sure you're getting productivity from those guys.
Devers is coming back. Devers found his swing again.
Hit his
His
first home run
little
today.
oppo
Very
pop.
exciting.
Yeah. Yep. Love that. Love that. So yeah, no, I will. Kind of like I mentioned before, I feel like if there's ever like down Patriot stuff, maybe we talk about other Boston sports going on.
I do have another
Which
thing, not Boston sports related, super
let's
quick
go.
though. I've been
Let's
on
go.
a fucking tear of interview.
Porn. Oh.
No, a player that I'm sure we all greatly respect. Maybe for the Boston College fans love. I fucking hate Boston College, but he was a monster in the league. And he did Bussin' with the Boys, and he had an interview. And then I was like, this guy's super personable. I got to listen to more. So he did Dale Earnhardt's podcast, which I had never fucking listened to in my life, although
I didn't
his
even know he
dad was
had
the
one.
man. Yeah, me neither. So I listened to that. And like, this dude was just like an incredible interview. And now I'm on a tear of every interview that he's ever done. But future Hall of Famer Luke Kuechly, dude,
Oh
he's the
yeah,
fucking,
he's
Forgot about
he's
Luke Kuechly.
he is the man, the coolest fucking dude, super personable, knows ball to a scary degree, which obviously he was the best middle linebacker in the league from the second he got in the league.
Yeah.
But dude, just listening to him talk, I learned 4 or 5 things about football that I never fucking thought of before in a 2 hour interview. I was like, this guy is a genius.
I love when you hear people who like know what they're talking about when it comes to football. Like I'm standing up now. This is
Yeah.
all fucked up.
Dude, it was
This
like
is such a shitty
nauseating.
situation.
I was like, oh my God, just listening to him talk. Like, I was like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah, I love that. It's almost like the Bill Belichick thing, where like you hear people
Yeah,
talk football, and you're like, I could listen to you talk for
forever.
hours. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
unbelievable. If you guys get a chance, any interview doesn't have to be Busting with the Boys or Dale Earnhardt. Literally, I think if Luke Kuechly was giving a presentation on wall sockets, it would be fucking worth listening to. Like, the dude is unbelievable.
you know, Bussin' with the Boys was with Barstool, right? Barstool Sports.
Was or
Hmm.
is.
Was.
They were up
Okay.
until what, like a few weeks ago or so, maybe a month, maybe over a
Yeah.
month ago at this point. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
no, they
Well,
were.
that's about when I started listening. So that actually fits
Mm,
the
that
brand.
makes sense.
That
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 makes
fits
sense.
Liam to a T.
Will Compton
Perfect.
still fucks with them though. Will Compton still messes with Barstool. So this is actually a Barstool tank top. Roger Goodell with a
I
clown
know.
nose
Yeah,
on.
which is about the only respectable thing they've ever put out.
Yeah. Yeah, no. All right. So I guess anything else you guys want to chat about before we get into the Joe Milton stuff?
I'm just excited for the draft. I'm also excited for Celtics playoffs. I said it earlier today to my dad and my fiance. I was like, I can't wait for the Celtics playoffs to get going again. Like round one. These regular season games need to end. It's just
Especially
Yeah.
now. Yeah,
yeah,
especially now.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, when
Yeah,
it
no,
gets down to
they
single digits in like the regular season games, you're like, just fucking end it.
And also, they're playing the Wizards right now, and they're up 32 in the fourth quarter. It's like just
dude,
get me
don't.
to get their 60 wins and then get me to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, no, Brown's
Although
gonna
I would
play because
love
he's
to
gotta
keep
hit his
talking about,
incentive.
I'd love to keep talking about anything that keeps us from not talking about Joe Milton.
All right, we'll talk about something. Brandon Ayuk, he didn't end up getting traded. Liam, you hit the nail on the head with that one. He stayed with San Fran. So they are begrudgingly paying his like 23, 24, whatever $1 million signing bonus or something.
Better than the Patriots paying that god awful fucking salary for a fat guy.
Yeah, I mean, I came around on it, like I said last
Yeah.
week. So, and I think Al, you even said that Liam changed your mind on it, right? The
Yeah, he
Brandon
did.
Ayuk thing.
I'm good. I'm good with
So,
no
He's
Ayuk at this point.
fucking,
so
he's Matty B out there running routes.
all
Absolutely
right.
not.
So we're
No,
talking
no,
about
no.
we're
We're not
talking about
doing
Joe
that.
Milton now.
We're
Oh,
not
we
doing
will.
that.
I will talk about just a topic that person brought up because it upset me. Um, News dropped a few days ago. The Patriots traded Joe Milton to the Cowboys for their fifth round pick. The Patriots sent Joe Milton and a seventh rounder, of which the Patriots had three, to the Cowboys. I kind of want to set the stage and I want to hear what everybody thinks about it. You would think that the Patriots traded prime Tom Brady with the discourse on Twitter and everything. How could you trade, such a talented young backup quarterback? Like you don't want to keep. Why wouldn't you keep him for a year and trade him for a third or trade him for a fourth or whatever it was? Oh, is this because Drake May couldn't handle competition? All that stuff. Listen, what happened was the Patriots needed to get rid of Joe Milton for a couple reasons. One, he's not the backup quarterback. The backup quarterback is Josh Dobbs, the astronaut, right? That's what you guys that's his name, right?
The
And if I'm
Pastronaut.
the pastronaut,
Astronaut.
my
Yeah.
bad.
Astronaut.
He is the backup. Joe Milton is not the backup quarterback. So everybody's saying that the Patriots trade their back. He is the third string guy. He's also 25 years old, so he's not young. Like, that's another thing that people kind of forget. He's not this like 21, 22-year-old guy. He's 23. The Cowboys offer was the only legitimate or actual offer the Patriots had.
Well,
That
that's
was a
not true.
report that came out where, oh, the Patriots had better offers, but they wanted to trade Joe Milton to a team where he could I'll put my glasses on too, guys, where he could like have a chance to start or whatever. That's not the case. The case was the Patriots were in talks with a lot of teams. The Cowboys were the only ones that traded an offer. The rumors now, not full reports, but rumors. I want to get it all out there and hear you guys' thoughts on everything. Is that Joe Milton thought that he could be the starter? He wanted to be the starter. He thought that he could not play better than Drake May, but thought that he could win the position from Drake May. It was kind of one of those things where if I can't be the starter, I want to go somewhere else. What did Mike Vrabel say when he first got here? We want players that want to be here. Joe Milton did not want to be here. He was never going to see the field. People get that Patriot. This is Malik Cunningham 2.0. Patriots fans get obsessed with backflips and hard throws and long throws. And what do? They go, oh my God, how could you trade him? He has so much talent. He has so much. Okay. Why was he drafted in the sixth round? Why weren't other teams picking down the page? Because how many times do we see teams make dumbass offers to get young, talented quarterbacks all the time, especially now? Why did no one else make any offers? Because he's just not that good right now. Maybe he'll develop into something, but he will never do that on the Patriots. There's no reason to have him. There's no reason to keep him here. Send him away. You drafted him for a sixth. You moved up. You traded him for a fifth. That's a win in my eyes. So, Al, I want to hear your thoughts first because I do know Liam, I want you to respond to both of us because we are on the opposite side of you here. So, Al, you probably knew everything I said because you are a little tapped into Twitter as well. So I'm sure you saw all the stuff there.
Mhm.
But what do you think? Joe Milton traded for a fifth round pick, and we sent away a seventh as well.
I mean, I think first of all, the expectation that we were going to get a third round pick for a quarterback that's played one career NFL game against NFL backups, I think that was a little unreasonable. And I was one of them at first to be
Me
like, you
too.
know what?
Me too.
Maybe we could sneak a third in here, but you know what? No. And it was dumb and it was what it was. If the roles were reversed and Joe Milton was the one taken third overall and Drake May was the sixth round talent, we'd all be saying, get rid of Drake May. You don't need him. Joe Milton's the future.
Mhm.
We'd be saying the exact same thing, different scenario. But guess what? The scenario at hand is Drake May is the future. Everyone knows he's the future. Joe Milton is and will be for the next year or two a project. He has some good characteristics about him. He can throw the ball deep. He can move in the pocket. He can do all that. That's great. He was never going to be the future here. They brought him in, they took a look, and guess what? That was under Gerard Mayo. Now it's Mike Vrabel. Maybe Mike Vrabel saw some things on tape that he's like, you know what? Not a fan of Joe Milton. There's a reason why they brought in Josh Dobbs to be the backup quarterback. And again, we talked earlier in the offseason, like we were saying, oh, maybe trade him to Cleveland, see if you could get Myles Garrett, in a deal and stuff like that. Like I think we were just dreaming a little bit and the fact that we saw like the potential there and we thought we could capitalize on it. But you know what? At the end of the day, you have Drake May, you have Josh Dobbs in your QB room. I'm fine with that. Now it's time to move on. And you know what? Maybe that extra draft pick, that fifth rounder, maybe that's the difference between getting a starting tackle in the future. Maybe you get another receiver like a Pop Douglas,
Center or something.
you
Yep,
get a
maybe.
center, whatever it is. And I think the fact is everyone, and I hate to say this, but I think a lot of people were following the narrative, right? Of course, in New England, it's the seventh round pick, the sixth round pick, the 199th pick. Look what happened with that. But that was an anomaly. It's not going to always happen. So you know what? Good luck to Joe Milton. I hope he does well in Dallas because I think Dak Prescott's going to get hurt week 2 anyway because he just
Yep.
always seems to get hurt. So I think a starting opportunity will come for him in Dallas within the next couple of years, and it'll be a better situation than in New England. So bye bye, Joe
The
Milton. And
the
I'm
pick
going to be perfectly
itself.
frank. I'm so glad that we're not going to have to hear Liam say anymore that Joe Milton should be the future star of the New England Patriots. I'm glad we don't have to talk about it anymore. We're done with it. Good.
Dude, so many people say that, and I do. Since you brought up Gerard Mayo, the pick itself was stupid. You draft Drake May, and then a few rounds later, you draft another quarter like that. That was weird to me too. Not that you're gonna get, I don't know, like who knows what you get in the sixth round, but like take a flyer on something else. Like why draft a quarterback, and that was just weird to begin with too. And I know everybody was like, "Oh, you're gonna have two young quarterbacks. You know, eventually you'll flip another one for whatever." And that's what the Patriots did. They flipped it for a higher pick. It's a fifth round pick. Like people, oh, I can't believe you gave away a seventh round pick. The Patriots had three. They gave away the 217th. They have the 220th. So it's not like they lost a lot there. And it's a seventh round fucking pick. Like you had to give up a pick for a team to get Joe Milton. Like just let that sink in your head first. But yeah, Liam, Joe Milton is gone. You have the floor, however long you want, whatever you want to say. Respond to what we said. Go on your own thing, however you want it to be. Your Lord and Savior is gone.
First off, about the only point I agree with Al, I don't like to push delusion. Like all the stuff that Joe Milton was going to get traded for Myles Garrett. If we traded Christian Gonzalez right now for Myles Garrett, the Browns would say no. Like that's just obviously ludicrous. Let's be realistic here. But also, I do find it to be a lesser return for a guy that, yes, balled out against backups, but you know what? This league is fucking stupid. Quite frankly, teams make moves every year throughout the season and in the off season that make me scratch my head and I'm puzzled. And I go, that player is going to suck. And then lo and behold, the season starts and that player blows. And sometimes teams will make a puzzling move and I'll end up being wrong. But I would say there are plenty of moves where I go, well, that's going to fucking backfire. And it does. I can remember thinking that when the Patriots traded for Albert Hainsworth. Who saw that one coming? Yep, he ended up being fucking
I
terrible.
forgot he was here.
Yeah, it
I
was
know
terrible.
for a quick minute.
Yeah. So if you can exploit the stupidity that is flowing through so many people all throughout the world, and especially in the National Football League, I would do that. To get a fifth round pick in return is an absolute injustice when the rumors were a third round pick. Are the rumors true? No. Probably not. You probably couldn't get a third round pick, but you can exploit. You can use that as leverage against teams that say, hey, fucking lie. Say whoever offered us a third round pick. If the Bengals call, you'd say, oh, well, friggin' Seattle offered us a third round pick and try and get the most from the Bengals. If this fucking despicable team that traded for him calls, yell lie and say the Steelers offered us this much. Just lie. And most of all, you can keep the guy on your team into the preseason and hell, maybe onto the season. Yes, you're giving up a roster spot, but as dudes tear their ACL in OTAs, in training camp, like my Lord and Savior Jeremy Maclin once did, teams will get more desperate when their quarterback goes down, the season hasn't started, and they will pay a third round pick for a dude who looked good, super athletic, and has crazy intangibles even off one game against backups. I just think it's a point you could have exploited. And yeah, they punted it. I knew they were going to fucking get rid of Joe Milton since that 8 a.m. press conference that you sent me from Mike Vrabel. In there, they asked about Joe Milton, and he, in the most politically correct way possible, said, yeah, if Joe Milton's here, come training camp, we'll assess that. And I'm like,
Yep.
okay, he's fucking
Yep. You
gone. Like,
caught
I
that.
get it.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I get it. He's fucking gone. So I had time to prepare that night. You know, I threw on Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas and bought myself a big bottle of Chivas Regal, which I cracked into that night, the night after, and the night after that, preparing for Joe Milton's departure, and it eventually happened. That's my second bottle. I finished one of them in the time up to, and then the night that Joe Milton got traded. But I was prepared for it, so I wasn't completely blindsided for it. Just where it sucks is he got traded to the fucking Cowboys. That's just
That's the
absolutely
kicker for you.
despicable to me.
That's why you're
That's just
upset.
that's the most despicable to me because it's a player I loved, and now he's a player I despise. Like I fucking hate Joe Milton, and it's brutal and it sucks. And merely a week ago, I was very fond of Joe Milton. If Joe Milton came to my house, I would invite him with open arms and feed him an incredible meal. Now, if he showed up to my house, I would scare him off with a shotgun and dogs. It would be mean. I don't want him anywhere near my house, anywhere. I want him as far away from me as possible because he's a Dallas Cowboy, and that's absolutely despicable.
Liam, before you
It's
go on, I want to just ask you a quick question on that. why are you going to hate the player when the player got traded to the
He
team?
wanted to do this. That's the problem.
I do
So
it too, though. I get it.
yeah.
I
So
get that.
so
I
so
get
the
that.
the rumors are that they had other offers and Joe Milton kind of had his choice of what it was the best situation for him and they sent him to the Cowboys. Is that true? Is that not? It's tough to say, but it kind of
They
makes a
said it
lot of
wasn't true.
sense.
Bert Breer said
Okay.
it wasn't true.
Okay, well, I don't fucking know Burt Breer. Burt Breer could be full of shit. You know, he sounds like a fat guy. I don't know what
Could
he
be.
actually looks like. But if
Very
it,
jacked, very jacked guy.
okay, well, then I'm wrong. Good for Burt.
No,
But
no,
like,
he's a nerd. He's a nerd.
okay, that's what I
He's a
thought.
nerd.
Yeah, if your
Yeah,
name's
he's a
Burt, if your name's Burt, I probably put you in a locker at some point in high school. But if you're Joe Milton, it totally makes sense because you're going to a team, a complete shit fuck dumpster fire franchise that should be sold and their owner should be shot. You're going to that team where their quarterback is made of glass and his ankle turns backwards every other year. So, a favorable situation for you. I completely understand what Joe Milton's thinking. He's a younger guy, you know. He's just a wee lad compared certainly compared to Mike. You know, he's probably like a grandchild compared to Mike.
I'm
And then
33.
and then to me, he would be a younger lad. So he's just disillusioned. I remember how I was in early college. I just, you know, I didn't see the world quite clearly as I do now, and certainly I still don't see it clearly. But I just wish I could have sat him down and been like, you know, Joe, it doesn't have to be like this. There are plenty of other teams, very serviceable teams that can use your incredible talents and you can actually have success instead of going to this quarantine franchise. And now you're going to be a shut-in and you know probably out of the league in a couple of years. So I do think it's not a great situation whatsoever. I think it's absolutely despicable. And now it is official. I do hate Joe Milton. It fucking sucks. I don't want to do this. I trust me. If I had the choice, I wouldn't do this. But I don't. It's the way life works, and it's fucking shitty. And I think the Patriots screwed up, and Joe Milton screwed up, and the fucking Cowboys got him. And you know, he'll probably be really good, and that'll really suck because when he's good, I'm gonna hate him more, and it just blows. I lit my Joe Milton jersey on fire, so I no longer have my Joe Milton jersey. I burned it in my bathtub filled with acid. I no longer have a Joe Milton jersey. It was a very somber couple days for me, and I'm gonna level with you. I wasn't answering in the group chat because I had a handgun in my mouth. I was
Oh
fucking
my God.
miserable.
Let me ask you something. You said that like, the Patriots should have kept him, maybe,
Should have. It's called
tried to do whatever.
extortion.
I have a couple things that have been reported that kind of go to that point. And Al, I'm sure you've heard these as well. One, Joe Milton wanted to be the starter. He thought that he could run the team. He thought that he could run it maybe better than Drake May.
Should
This
have.
isn't something where it's like Drake May didn't want competition. This is something where if Vrabel looked at that and said, "Hey, buddy, we don't fucking want you. Buy
Yeah.
into the system." You know what the system is? The system is Drake fucking May, a future Super Bowl
I
champ,
think Vrabel's a great
multi-time
coach. An
Super Bowl
oversight
champion.
on it,
But
that was an oversight on Mike Vrabel.
it's one of those buy-in things because Monday is I think the first voluntary workouts or whatever,
Yep.
or when the season. So it's one of those. Listen, we want to get you out now because we don't want any issues. We're trying to do culture here. Milton Williams, violence, boot to ass. We don't want you in the quarterback room, and not even with Drake May. Maybe you thinking you can be the backup over the pastronaut, Josh Dobbs. No, no, no. That's not going to
Well, he
happen.
could have been.
And then there's also the rumor, and not even the rumors, pretty much the reports at this point. The Patriots had one offer. It was the Cowboys. If you wanted to
I
do
don't
what
think
you
they're
did,
true.
Liam,
I don't think
if
they're
you wanted
true.
to do what you do, where it
Fake
was the whole
news.
like lie thing or, like extort team, sure, I'm all for that.
You lie.
Why didn't it work this time? Because no one wants him.
I just don't
He
think they
is
did it.
not
I
a
don't
good,
think they did
like,
it.
let's,
Okay.
let's,
The
let's
the
break it down.
Raiders
He's
just
not a
paid
good.
Geno Smith an ungodly
Who's
amount of money.
better than Joe
He's
Milton?
34
Miles
years
better.
old. He's
And
34 years old and threw 11 touchdowns last season.
you're right.
What
You're
in
right.
God's name tells anyone, yes, Geno Smith, old and has
Better than Joe Milton.
2 or 3 good years under his belt, which I've come around on Geno Smith. I think he's all
Yeah.
right. But now I would not sign Geno Smith. I think that's a fucking stupid idea. So would you at least roll the dice on a dude who's younger, far more jacked,
9 years
incredible arm
younger.
strength, has all the intangibles that you need? Would you
No, he
roll the
doesn't.
dice? Low stakes, high reward.
These are
You're
lies.
you're giving nothing
You are
for the
peddling
guy
lies.
with high. I'm not. And you
He
say
doesn't have
this.
all the tools.
He
What are
does.
you
He
talking
has.
about?
Are you kidding me? He's got wheels. He can backflip. He can bomb the ball. What more do you fucking need as a
What's a
quarterback?
Prove
backflip
my
have to
point,
do with
sir.
football? Like,
Prove
Because once
my
he gets
point.
into the end zone, he does a backflip.
now,
It's
now you're
fucking
reaching.
cool.
Now you're
No, I'm
My
reaching.
not.
points.
But the only thing you need is a quarterback. Read the fucking defense, run the ball,
He
pass the
can't
ball.
do
He can
that.
do those. Oh, he can.
Yeah, and
Against
Drake May
who?
can do that to a
240
better
yards
level.
and two
To a better
touchdowns.
level.
Says he can
Against
read a
who?
fucking
Against
defense.
who? Against
Against the
what?
Bills.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Against
against
the
what?
Bills JV.
Al,
Please.
you said it. You said it.
Still
Drake.
NFL defenses.
You said it. Drake May can do all those things. The truth, like taking away all like we're
Professional
podding, we're
football is
doing whatever.
professional football.
Take
Backups
take
are not.
away take away everything. Joe Milton was never going to see the
Joe
field in
Milton was
meaningful
toasting
snaps.
people in preseason and in regular season
Listen to
shit
what you
games.
said in
Yes. Okay.
preseason.
Okay, I understand. You know who also got their
Malik
start in
Cunningham
preseason?
had great preseason showings too.
Yeah, but he wasn't as good as Joe Milton.
Oh
You know
my
who
gosh.
he
This is
wasn't. He
getting
wasn't. You know who started in the preseason? Victor Cruz when he fucking toasted the Jets for 3 touchdowns.
Joe Milton is not Victor Cruz.
But he could be.
No,
He
okay.
could be.
You
He
are
could
crazy.
be.
Can we
Wait,
can we
but
can
see,
we mute him?
you're acting
You
like
can mute him.
nothing.
I
You're
know.
acting
You
like
can mute
nothing
him.
good comes out of the preseason. Preseason are NFL
No, I
players.
love the preseason.
Yeah,
I love the
NFL
preseason.
players. You're reading NFL defenses.
So
It's still NFL football.
hear me out. So because I thought about this a bunch of ways because I don't hate Joe Milton. Like even though he went to the Cowboys, like I don't hate him. You hate the Cowboys, I don't.
Should.
But my thing is, okay, so say you think Joe Milton could potentially be a starting quarterback. He wasn't going to get backup reps in practice. Josh Dobbs was going to be getting that. So Joe
You
Milton
don't
was
know
going to be
that.
working
There's a
with
competition.
most likely he was. Let's just say this was it. Or if he was going to get backup job, he was never going to get meaningful playing time. Even if Drake May went down, he was never going to win the job over Drake May. Now, if you think maybe so like let's just say let's go catastrophic 2 years from now, because this is what Patriots fans were saying. You have someone who's so much potential, young, all that cool. Let's say 2 years from now, you find out Drake May is not the guy. Whether he has too many concussions, he just doesn't pan out, the Mac Jones effect hits him, whatever it is. So you're going to now thrust Joe Milton in the starting role when he has not been a starter for his first 3.5 years in the league.
That's how it went for Aaron Rodgers. That's how it goes for a lot
Aaron
of
Rodgers
fucking
was getting
players.
backup stat. Joe Milton is not a good quarterback. Like we need to just stop
Okay,
this because
yeah,
Joe
but
Milton was not
this
the
is all
backup
this
for
is
the
all
Patriots, by the
hypothetical.
way.
This is all a fantasy world. If
Yeah,
Joe
no, of
Milton
course
gets
it is. The
absolutely
reality
no,
is Joe
if
Milton's
he gets
fucking
no
gone and you'll
backup
never hear
snaps
about
and then
him.
is thrown into an NFL game in 3 years, yeah, he probably wouldn't do very well. But why would
Yes.
you think he wouldn't get backup snaps if he was on the team for that long? This whole thing is a mute point. Fucking stupid.
You will never hear about Joe Milton after next year. You will
I will
never
bet
hear
you
about
a
him.
ton of money that's not true.
Well, see, because then we're nitpicking. Like if he comes in backup duty, no, I'm saying
Yeah,
Joe Milton
100%.
Joe Milton will not pan out in this league. He will not. There's a reason he went in the 6th round. There's a reason teams weren't knocking
Well,
down his door.
This is
You
an
had all these
unwinnable.
rumors.
This is an
You had all
unwinnable
these
battle for
rumors
me.
that
You are
you,
posing a scenario where I can't win because if he does do well, I'll never fucking admit it. He could have 5 touchdowns in his first game as a Cowboy, and I would still say a fucking awful performance. So I can't win this scenario.
Liam,
Al.
yes, you can. You are. How do I put this delicately? There is a
Don't put it
situation
delicately.
where you can like a player on a rival team.
Mhm.
Example, no, I'm gonna cross sports for a second. When the Red Sox
Crossing
played the
streams.
Yankees, Mike, there was one guy I think we all can admit we all could like as a Yankee. It's
won't.
very easy.
I won't.
Derek Jeter.
Yeah, no, I won't publicly, but you're right. But I won't
Yes,
say it.
yes, Derek
Yeah.
Jeter. You don't have to like the team. You can hate the team, but you can respect him like a player. You can still like Joe Milton. You're choosing not to. That's your own fault.
Guys, I
No,
look
the,
fucking
the
jacked,
laws
by the
of
way.
the laws
You
you
do.
do, but the
You
laws
see.
of nature don't allow it, and that's fine. More power to
The
you.
laws of nature.
Yeah,
This
I know,
is
like, what are
Liam.
we
that's fine.
doing?
That's fine.
Liam,
You can put your
I'm the
stuff aside.
crazy
And
one.
you can like
I'm
Derek
the
Jeter. That's fine.
I'm the nonsensical one on the pod. That's what you guys say. I don't think so. I think after this episode, we need to revisit the rankings.
No. I'm just saying, once you go to the Cowboys,
I'm
you're
still at number one, by the
subhuman.
way.
You're subhuman. Let me ask you something though. Like
You're a
so
mutant,
take
a creature.
let me
It's
let me
fucking
let me ask you
disgusting.
something. Let me ask you something though, Liam, because Al, I think you're probably pretty like even keel on this or whatever. Take the fact that it's Joe Milton out of it, that you love Joe Milton. So like just take
That's
that
the
the
biggest
Patriots
part of this.
that the Patriots draft that's what I'm saying. You people have fallen in love with backflips and hard throws. Take the
Falling
fact
in
that
love
it's
with
Joe.
tape highlights.
Take that one okay.
Intangibles.
take the fact that it's Mr. Backflip out of the thing. But let's just say that he still has, like, some potential, this and that. The
He
Patriots
does.
traded a sixth round, third string quarterback for a fifth round pick. There's
Draft placement
nothing
doesn't
wrong with
matter.
that.
Most of all, draft placement doesn't matter on the Patriots. It absolutely
It
doesn't.
does
Doesn't matter
now.
at
Wait,
all.
wait,
No,
wait.
it
What do you mean it
fucking
doesn't matter
doesn't.
on the Patriots?
It
Oh, no, no, no,
absolutely
no,
doesn't
no,
matter on the
no, no.
Patriots.
Sure, like no, no, and I agree with that because you can have sixth round, fifth rounders, maybe even
Fuck yeah.
seventh rounders pan
Our
out.
entire Super Bowl receiving core was all late round picks. Ed
Yeah,
Amendola, fifth round
due
pick.
to Tom Brady,
Edelman, seventh
due to
round
Tom
pick.
Brady.
I don't
Other
know.
than
Because
Edelman,
even when Tom Brady
listen,
wasn't there, they were all pretty fucking good.
yeah, no, Matt Castle, good. Let
Yeah,
me let me just say, like, I realistically looking at this, this means
I
nothing.
am.
This means nothing because all the Patriots did was trade their third string, third QB, the
It's
emergency
not
one on
that
the
simple. You have to
inactives.
handle every situation on a situation by situation
That's what
basis.
I'm doing right now.
You
And
can't
Joe
just go,
Milton,
well, if you trade any backup quarterback.
no,
Brock
no, no, no,
Purdy
no,
was
no.
once a
I'm
third
off that.
string quarterback.
I'm off that. I'm talking about strictly Joe Milton,
All
who
right.
they traded. He is not a good quarterback. He's not even what you want as a backup. Because let me just
You
ask you
cannot
something.
say he's
Let me
not a good
ask you.
quarterback. He has
Let me
shown you
ask you.
nothing that says
Hey,
he's not a good
let
quarterback.
me ask you. Let me ask you. As a backup quarterback, you don't want someone with the talent to potentially do that. You want someone who can keep the boat afloat for 2 or 3 games. That's not Joe Milton. Joe
Yeah, if
Milton is a project. He's a mound of clay. Joshua Dobbs is someone who can come in for 2 games and maybe win you one of them, depending on who you're playing against. You know what I mean? You don't want any sort of question in your backup quarterback position. You want average, you want steady, you want to know what you're getting. You don't know what you're getting with Joe Milton. Get him the fuck out of here, especially if he wants to be the starter.
you
Mhm.
want a backup quarterback who's a clipboard warrior, yeah, if you're a fucking stiffy, I want my backup quarterback
No,
to come in and show people
no,
what's up. That's
no.
the
That's
point of
not
having
real.
a
That's not
backup
real life.
quarterback.
That's not
That
real
is
life.
real life. That 100% is
Name
real
me a
life.
backup quarterback right now that could come in and show you, get your
Let me
dick
look up
hard.
the backup quarterbacks.
Yeah,
Let
exactly.
me,
Look that up. While
I
you're doing
will.
that, Al, I'm going to ask you something.
Yes, please.
Um, with
Joe Flacco. Joe
with
Flacco,
dude, don't
100%.
even. Okay,
100%. All
even
right,
if you
first of
want,
all, so here
Mike,
we go.
Mike, just ask
Here.
me the
No,
question.
no, 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 no. I got it right
no,
here. So here's your
let him
list.
go.
You want an answer? I'll give you an answer. We'll start historic. We'll obviously start with Nick Foles, then we
The,
can pass that one aside. Hold
no,
on,
no,
hold
no, no,
on,
no,
hold
no, no,
on.
no. We're talking this year. We're not going
Okay,
back
okay. I
years and
know,
stuff.
but no, I know. I'm just saying, but it's an argument
And
that
Nick
could be
Foles is an
proven.
average quarterback too, by the way. You're
He's not
proving
an
my
average
point.
quarterback, and you
You
know
need
that's
to find
horseshit.
people
That's a guy
who
that can
are
come in.
elite.
He had
You're
fucking
going to name a
four
bunch of
touchdowns
average
in the
people. Go,
he had four
go.
touchdowns in the Super Bowl. Okay, I'm not
Bills
gonna
fan,
name average people. I'm gonna name
bitch.
this is a murderer's row right now. A lot of these guys are actually old.
I might have to go away, Al.
Hold on.
I
Backup
understand.
QBs. No, 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 no,
He's
no, no, no,
panicking
no,
right
no,
now
no,
because he's
no,
looking at
no.
the names. He's going,
Okay,
"Oh shit, bunch of Josh
no, no,
McCowns."
no, 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 no. I love these guys. So this is a murderer's row here. Get ready for this. These backup
Murderers
quarterbacks
row.
are fucking
Murderers
awesome here.
row. Joe Milton's one of
So
them.
Joe Milton,
Maybe.
technically is one of them. So we'll
Let's go.
start. Obviously, Joe Flacco is the standard for backup quarterbacks. He's going to come in. He's going to sling it around. We were all excited. Don't play
What
like you
is Joe
weren't.
Flacco? No, no. Let me.
He's
He,
a backup.
you know what you're getting with him. He
Yeah,
has a
you're getting a
ceiling.
dominant quarterback.
No, you're not. But
Yes, you
I'm just
are.
saying you're proving my point. Keep going though.
I'm not. So there's Gardner Minshew as well. Lights it up. I love Gardner Minshew. If you think otherwise, you're a fucking idiot. Gardner Minshew's a baller. And we all know this guy can
Put my
hoop.
mic.
So then we also have Jameis Winston, which, yes, high upsides, very low valleys. Super exciting, though. I hate Florida State, and I am willing to put that aside to say that Jameis Winston is box office and a lot of fun. That's a dynamic quarterback where you bring him off the bench, he can 5 touchdowns in one game,
He's
100%. He'll
also a
get.
Wow,
potential
that's
starter though,
that's
so
really
that's
big of
different.
you. Really big of you.
I know it is. I know. I got another one. Got another one here to continue the murderer's row.
Oh my god, this is
Tyrod
horrible,
Taylor,
dude.
T-Mobile, monster. If you get Tyrod Taylor coming off your bench, you're guaranteed a rushing
Okay,
touchdown. You're
Al, go
guaranteed
away.
a couple passing touchdowns. And
Keep
hold
going.
on, it gets better. It gets better down the
I
line.
hope it does. I
This
sincerely hope it does.
this one's juicy, and I
You can
tell
see
you,
Al in the background.
yeah. So this one's particularly juicy. Old walk it to him Wentz, former almost MVP. If you get Carson Wentz coming off your bench, that is a reliable 3 touchdowns a game Murderer. Say it with me,
No.
murderer.
It's
All
funny.
walk it
People
to
are
him.
yelling. People are
No
yelling
one's
at their
yelling. No one's
phones
yelling.
right now,
All
listening
walk
to
it to
you.
him wins. Here, I'll even cater to pull the
Okay, Shannon
heartstrings a little
Sharp.
bit for you guys. I'll pull the heartstrings a little
Don't
bit for
say
you
Mac
guys.
Jones.
Yeah, Jimmy G. Jimmy G is an awesome backup quarterback. He can come in and give you some dynamic games.
You've done nothing but prove my point. All these guys you're
He is
saying
not a clipboard warrior.
have a specific ceiling. They
No, they
are
don't have a
average as
specific
can
ceiling.
be.
Carson Wentz's fucking ceiling is a Super Bowl. Joe Flacco's ceiling is a Super Bowl
With who?
with the
When?
teams that they won a fucking Super Bowl with.
3 decades ago?
I
Oh my
I won't make the argument for Mac Jones, although I think he could be. But I
yeah.
won't because
Mac Jones, let him be. He be.
there's no
Let him be.
evidence there's no evidence for that one.
This is crazy.
Hold on.
Yeah, that's right. Click around, buddy. Try to find some people.
Oh, here we go. This
All right,
one
here we go.
fan favorite. This is probably a little after your time, Mike. I'm sure like when you loved
After
college
my
football.
time,
Yeah, I'm sure when you loved college football stars, it was like Marcus Dupree and Archie Griffin way back in the day.
I like real
But
football. I like real
but for
football.
for me and Al, Marcus Mariota still a fucking good player. He can
Dude,
come in and he can run a dynamic offense.
I love that you're doing this, by the way, because you are proving this is beautiful to
I'm
me because you're
telling
saying
you, no.
all these players are backups. Do you know who's not? Joe Milton.
No, if you want to hear keyboard or clipboard warriors, these are the backups out of those. Easton Stick, Josh Johnson,
Joe Milton.
Jake Hayner, Sean Clifford blows. He's definitely a keyboard
These are all
warrior
Joe
or a
Miltons.
clipboard warrior. Mitch Trubisky, definitely clipboard fucking
Milton.
king right there. Cooper Rush, textbook clipboard. Nothing but not even good when he gets in the game. Jarrett Stidham had a moment, clipboard. Clipboard 100%.
Garrett Stidham had a good preseason.
Dude,
Remember you care about preseason so much?
Kenny Pickett has the clipboard surgically sewn to his hands. That is never leaving his hands.
Actually,
Mason
wait a
Rudolph,
minute. Okay, wait a
clipboard.
minute. I have a much more simple question. We're gonna make this very simple.
Yeah, please, because he's already proved my point. So maybe you do.
I haven't. I actually just
I haven't.
because
I have not.
I named clipboard guys,
Liam,
none of which were the guys I listed.
Who
fun.
is
This is a
Joe
good comment.
Milton better than? That's a starting quarterback right now in the NFL.
Ooh, all
Who
right,
is he better than?
Let's go to the starting quarterback list.
Not a single fucking person.
There's not one.
Al,
He's
do you know why?
He's
Al,
definitely
do you know
better than
why?
Trevor Lawrence.
Because Joe
Al,
Milton's a
definitely
backup
better than
quarterback
Trevor
at
Lawrence.
best.
Me and
He
you,
is
do you know
definitely
why,
better
Al?
than Trevor
Because
Lawrence.
Because
Joe
he's a backup
Milton,
quarterback at best.
He's better than Trevor Lawrence.
He was drafted in the 6th round. No one's banging down the Patriots' doors to get him. Like there's just he did well against backups against a team that was trying to lose.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, they had to add on a pick just to get a pick and get rid of him.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so here we go. These are the starting quarterbacks.
Liam,
that
you're
Joe
so
Milton's
much
better
smarter
than
this.
No. These are the
Take the glasses off. You don't deserve to wear the
I
glasses.
promise you, I'm not smarter than this. The the quarterback starting that Joe Milton is better than.
He's gonna piss me
And
off.
give us a second to react to it too. So
Yes, certainly. So I hate to admit this because he just hasn't been playing up to par. I know his ceiling is through the roof, but Deshaun Watson, like I think he's a better quarterback than Joe Milton, but he's not playing like it, so Joe Milton is better than Deshaun Watson.
Dude, I
Right?
hate Deshaun Watson.
Right?
This is crazy.
Right? Al,
No.
right?
No, you're
no.
I'm wrong. Dude, he threw 5 touchdowns and 6 picks. He's not better than Joe Milton. I promise you this. Okay, Will Levis, dog shit. Dog shit. Joe Milton is better than Will Levis.
dude, this is
He is.
I mean that one
This is
you
the
might
See?
have a
See?
case for.
Now we're
no,
now
you
we're
know why,
talking.
Al? You know
Yes.
why he doesn't, Al? You know why he doesn't? Because we've seen Will Levis succeed in the NFL. We have not seen Joe Milton do it.
13
Okay, yeah,
touchdowns,
that's true.
12
You're right,
picks.
Mike. I'm back on. I'm
Because
back.
he hasn't
You're
got
good.
the opportunity. You're
he had me for a
shit.
second. You
because,
pulled me back.
That's
Joe
why this is
Mil-
unfortunate for
Joe
you,
Milton
Liam.
doesn't have the opportunities.
That's
that
why
these
this
guys
is
have.
unfortunate because
doesn't have the
you
opportunity.
cannot
He hasn't
come out
got
on
it.
top.
And now he'll
like
get
I
his
will.
opportunity in Dallas. So
Yes,
then he'll
and
be
when
able
he
to prove me
does,
wrong.
I know he's going to be shit, but maybe it'll change.
You
guys.
cannot come out on top like I was before we hit
He's
record on
better
this
than
pod.
Daniel
Heyo.
Jones. He's better than
Hey.
Daniel Jones.
Who's
Talking
Daniel
sex.
Jones starting for right now?
Okay, well, he was technically a starter last year for a little bit, but now
Dude, I
he's
won't
the
even give
backup
you
in
that.
Minnesota. He's better than Daniel Jones.
Says who?
Says
What?
everyone.
Says
Dude,
what?
Daniel
Says everyone.
Jones is shit.
Says everyone.
Daniel
Okay.
Jones blows.
Al,
Okay.
we're in the minority, buddy. Two
No,
whites in the
Al
minority.
agrees with me there. I bet if given the opportunity, he could be a better Anthony Richardson. He'd be the same thing, but better with the arm.
He
I
is
will.
Walmart version Anthony Richardson. That's what he
No,
is.
no, no. Anthony Richardson is
Yes,
Walmart
yes,
Anthony
yes.
Richardson. And Joe Milton, Supreme. Joe Milton's like you go to the Bass Pro Shops in Memphis, that's like a pyramid, and that's where you get a
This
quarterback like
is
Joe Milton.
this is absurd.
Okay,
Oy, oy,
Caleb
oy,
Williams.
oy.
He's better than Caleb Williams and
Nope.
doesn't paint his fingernails, which is
Nope.
a huge plus.
Maybe he should because maybe he'd be a little bit better if he
No,
did paint his
probably wouldn't.
fingernails.
Al, are you with me on that
Dude,
one?
No,
Liam,
no,
I
I'm
know
not.
Liam.
Al won't admit it because he has pride for some
Closing
reason, but he
arguments,
shouldn't
bud. You
admit that. No,
lost.
100%. Trevor Lawrence, he's way
Nope.
better than Trevor Lawrence. Trevor
Nope.
Lawrence
Nope.
blows, dude. He's terrible.
Trevor
Derek
Lawrence brought
Carr,
the Jaguars to the playoffs. Joe
he's
Milton would have them go 5-12 every
that's
year
not true
consistently.
at all.
I'm taking the glasses off. I
Derek
don't want to
Carr,
see.
They haven't gone
he's
to the
better.
playoffs.
No, I'm saying if Joe Milton was in that same situation over that span of years, Joe Milton also would have made the playoffs with that shitty fucking team. Derek Carr, he's better than Derek Carr, 100%. This is
Are
Derek
you
Carr
fucking
or Joe
stupid?
Ferrari. Yes,
You're podding right
100%.
now. You're podding right.
No,
So
I'm
it's
not.
fine.
I
It's fine.
promise
It's
you,
fine.
I'm
You're
not.
podding right now. That's
I'm
fine.
really not, dude. He's better
That's
than
fine.
Derek Carr. Derek Carr's ass, dog. Derek Carr is not that good. Kirk Cousins now, not to start the season, but now he's better than Kirk Cousins. Now, currently, he is better than Kirk Cousins. 100%. Dude, he threw one touchdown to 9 interceptions in his last 5 games. Joe Milton can do better than that. I promise you, Joe Milton can throw more than one touchdown in less than 9 picks. I promise you this. He doesn't throw that many interceptions.
He doesn't play. Ugh.
But that's the point. So we're saying hypothetically, if you were to switch situations here and put Joe Milton in these guys' shoes. And then I think that's where it ends because then we get into the Aaron Rodgers turf. I would say he's probably, he's
Oh, he's better
comparable
than
with
Aaron
Russell
Rodgers.
Wilson. No, he's not. Definitely not. He's comparable with Russell Wilson. I'll give Wilson the nod. And then after
Dude,
that, everyone
no,
is better than him.
no. I'm
He's definitely better than Dak Prescott, which he'll start and he'll prove that. He's not dead, so he's better than Tua.
all right. Sports Spider just called me. They told me to tell you to stop with this because it's crazy.
I don't think so. Yeah,
I just
other
got off the
than
phone with
that,
them.
the
They
list
said
the
send him
list
to the trail.
the list the list ends there. The list does end there. He's also just yeah. Oh fuck, what's his name?
All right. So
fuck.
at the end of the day, the Patriots got a fifth round pick for closing arguments. Liam, we heard your closing argument. Al,
Yeah, I
final
know.
words.
And you guys have no rebuttal.
Al, all you've done is prove my point.
I
Al,
haven't. Your
final
point was
final
dumb, and I
words.
lit that
Final
shit on
words
fire.
on Joe Milton being gone.
I am glad that the future of this Patriots franchise is in Drake May's hands,
Famous
not
last
Joe
words.
Milton.
Mhm.
Drake May. That's the
Yeah,
guy.
I agree. I think this is the way I look at it, and you can look at this a couple different ways. I mean, we've seen a very peculiar way to look at it, how Liam did, but you can look at it a couple different ways. But I think that this means Mike Vrabel really believes in May because he wants to give him as clean a runway as possible. And I think if you have someone in the quarterback room who thinks that they are better than not only the backup quarterback, but thinks that they can start, actually not like, "Oh, we're all just practicing to, because, we're always ready to start." He wants to start. He's going to act like he can start for this team. You don't know what detriment that might be to Drake May. So get him out of there. My issue with all this stuff, you had a bunch of Patriots, like new upcoming reporters on there being like, "Oh, I tweeted this first. It was Drake May, like Ben Volen too, who isn't an upcoming guy, but where, they did this for Drake May because he can't handle the competition." All this kind of stuff. And it's like, in what world? What have you seen from Drake May? This isn't a Mac Jones thing where you can look at him and be like, he might be a little soft. In what you have seen nothing from Drake May where he can't handle this. Drake May seems like the guy in every single step of his development to be a franchise quarterback. You know who doesn't? Joe Milton. Get him over to Dallas. Like you said, Liam, I'll give you a point. You said we'll probably see him this year in Dallas. We probably will. He'll have three
that'll be
touchdowns, 300 yards, and a 42-21 loss. I guarantee you will see that. because he is
Well,
not
yeah,
a
the team
developed
sucks.
quarterback.
Let the record show the team sucks. So
No, Dallas does not suck. Dallas
they're
does not
terrible,
suck.
dog.
No,
They're
no, 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 no,
awful.
no.
They're
They are average at worst. Yeah, this is good for all parties. Joe Milton, go to Dallas, go try to win the job from Dak Prescott, whatever, even though he just got he's gonna be there for a while, whatever it is. Patriots got someone out of the room who thinks they can start. Drake May's the guy. You get a fifth round pick. The Patriots right now have two fifth round picks. They have two seventh round picks. They don't have a sixth round pick. So I would expect them to maybe trade some sort of pick for a sixth rounder come the draft time. We're going to talk about the draft in a second. But my thoughts are kind of realistic, not talking shit or anything. Like, I'm sorry you got drafted here, Joe Milton. I wish he got drafted somewhere else. That's my thing. Because not
he
because of this
deserved better than
whole
this.
not be that yeah, in a sense. Because you know what, dude, I wish you did get drafted by Cleveland or you did get drafted by I don't know.
Don't
You want
wish
to say
that
like
on him either.
Carolina, Vegas, someone like I wish you got drafted by someone where you could compete for a starting job because you will never do that here. And this was proven. So, Liam, any wrap up thoughts for your emotions right now for Joe Milton before we talk on the draft before we get out of here?
Hopefully the last time we ever talk about Joe Milton too.
I fucking hate Joe Milton.
Hopefully, there we go. That's it, and that's fine. And that's fine. So, so we will move on from Joe Milton, sir. Enjoy Dallas. Enjoy playing with that
There's
when Dak
nothing to
Prescott
enjoy in Dallas.
inevitably gets hurt. Little draft talk right now. Al, I'm going to throw it to you in a second because I kind of want to know what you wanted to bounce off it. Right now, currently, the Patriots draft picks for they have the number 4 pick, their second round pick, the 38th pick. They have 2 third round picks, their 4th round pick, 2 fifth round picks, no 6th, like I said, and 2 sevenths. So, Al, jump us off where you wanted to start with this because before we got on, you wanted to talk about the draft. So let's go. What do you want to talk
Actually,
about?
hold that thought for a second. Get Liam's thoughts first. I got to take care of something real fast. I'll be right back.
Wow. Wow. You know what he's doing right now? He's probably going to go look
Right.
at the toilet and be like, "Hey, what he say last week about the toilet where it was like flushing things? What was it?"
Oh, he doesn't like when you just throw toilet paper into the
Yeah,
toilet
I bet
without
he's going in
flushing.
there right now. He's going to be like, "Listen here,
Yeah.
babe. I'm calling the wedding
He's
off."
like, he's like, I saw that. He's like, you blew your nose and you threw it into the toilet and you didn't flush it.
Liam, let me pose a question to you. Because right
Yes.
now the Patriots have the 4th pick. What's going on right now is that supposedly Cam Ward is going to be the first pick. There's a
As he
lot of
should.
talk right now about Travis Hunter maybe going to Cleveland. And it's going to be between the Giants with Shadur Sanders and what's his name, Abdul Carter. Between you guys, Al, you're back, so I want to toss it to you.
Mhm.
Bring us into the draft talk. What did you want to talk about, man?
So, and I heard the tail end of that, so it makes me a little sad. Liam was sad throughout this episode, so I'm going to be sad now. It looks like, by all accounts, Cam Ward's going number 1 to the Titans. That looks like as the only certainty going into this draft.
As it should. QB1.
Yeah, no, they canceled showings and all that or
Yeah.
whatever
I already bought a
interviews.
jersey. Cam Ward, number 1, Titans jersey.
Damn it, you moved on from Joe Milton that quick, huh?
I
Damn.
mean, well, my allegiance lies with the U.
It
Oh,
does.
these are good, by the way, Liam.
Oh, they are? I was
Very
wondering.
good. Very
Huh,
good.
So I
no.
was looking earlier, and I was looking at the Browns depth chart just going into the season.
I'm so
And
sorry. That must have been brutal.
I
that
know,
was
right?
only for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
God.
I'm looking at their corners and everything else. They still have Denzel Ward. They have Grant Delpit at their
Waller
strong safety. Greg
sucks.
Newsome still is one of their other corners. They have some decent corners, and then their wide receiver room, not too bad. Like Jerry Judy's still there, and I know Jerry Judy's like, he's young. He's not a top tier receiver, but he's a good,
He
solid,
actually played
receiver.
pretty well for being a Jag.
Right. So that's the thing is like I'm trying to see a world in which Travis Hunter would flourish in Cleveland. Because where is he going to play? I mean, he's a third corner on Cleveland and wide receiver, probably wide receiver too. Probably.
Let me cut you off here, Al. I just need one sentence. When has ever, in all of football history, Cleveland ever put as much thought as you're about to put into what you're about to
Oh,
say right
never.
now?
Never.
to draft.
Well, they thought
Okay,
about Deshaun
cool.
Watson. They put a lot
Yeah,
of thought into that
well,
one.
for good reason, I would have done that same thing, but I
Unfortunately.
digress. When it comes to drafting, they've never put as much thought as you're about to put into the sentence.
No,
Proceed.
I know, I know. Unfortunately, I think the my Travis Hunter to the Patriots dream is just about over.
Thank God.
I no, not thank God.
I
Actually,
know.
we're talking to the former Joe Milton fan, so that's irrelevant.
Stop bringing him up.
So, hey,
He's dead to me.
I'm saying it's
I'm trust me,
irrelevant
I
because
won't
of
bring it
look at
up.
where it's
I
coming
fucking
from.
hate Joe Milton. It's
Good.
devastating.
So with that,
Excommunicado.
I think
Shunned.
what I think needs to happen is the Giants need to take Shador Sanders at 3. I don't care they signed Russell Wilson. I don't care they signed James Winston. I don't care about that. You're not going to go forward as an organization if you have 2 veteran, older quarterbacks. No, yeah, Giants are really dumb. They let Saquon Barkley walk. You're welcome for that, Liam. So
Fucking
they,
incredible.
I know they let Saquon Barkley walk. So I'm just thinking to myself, you
Then
have
they
a
paid
chance
their
to
wide
bring in a
receiver $1 million
quarterback.
more.
You have a chance to bring in a quarterback that can probably be your quarterback for the next 10 years. And come on, let's be honest. Shador Sanders in New York City.
Sucks.
No, that could sell. That's the thing. Like
Yeah.
Box
big
office.
market like New
It
York.
was
It'll
there.
sell until week 2, and then everyone will hate
Right.
him.
But still, that wouldn't be our problem at that point.
True.
I think if the Giants or even the Browns, maybe the Browns could surprise everybody and be like, you know what? We don't want Kenny Pickett as our quarterback and Deshaun Watson's going to be gone. Maybe they take Shador too. And that's fine. But the point I'm making is Shador Sanders needs to go 2 or 3 for the Patriots' sake. Because I'm sorry, but Will Campbell at number 4 just doesn't do it for me. It just doesn't.
It's the small arms, isn't it?
It's just it's
I hate it,
alignment.
man. You'll
If the
take it and you'll
Patri-
love it.
if the Patriots were a
Yeah.
left tackle away from winning a Super Bowl, then I'd be like, okay, fine. Get your left tackle and let's go.
No
Mike,
Are they
team
not?
is a
stop
left
it.
tackle
Mike,
away
stop
from
it.
getting
Stop
They're a
to
it.
the
left
Super
tackle
Bowl.
away from playoffs.
Maybe, maybe.
And once you get
But
in,
with that being
It's
said,
anyone's game.
if it ended up that Will Campbell ended up being a guard instead of a left tackle, then you essentially you
won't
took a
be a
guard at
guard.
4. And that's you don't
Which
want that.
worked out for Orlando Pace.
Well, that's one exception.
It's
Great.
true. It's true.
the Browns
Here's the-
have to take Sanders, man. I'm sorry, keep going.
No. I was just gonna say, I would rather at that point just keep adding to the defense and letting Abdul Carter fall to 4. Then you'll have an even more dominant pass rush, and the defense becomes that much better. It does. It gets that much better. There's the wide receivers are very deep in this class. The offensive linemen are deep in this class as well. So you could get good quality linemen and receivers in the second and third round, maybe even trade back into the end of the first round. And you get what's the kid from Iowa State's name? Jaden.
Noel.
No, the other guy.
Oh,
What's his name?
Jaden.
It's either Jaden or Jalen.
Higgins. Higgins.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yep.
Or you get the kid from Ohio State. You can get him at the end of the first round.
Dude, you can draft Connerly in the second, and then you can draft Trey Harris in the third, and you filled all your holes.
Right. The point that I'm making is that unless Cleveland has a change of heart and they're like, okay, we really want Abdul Carter because we want to have him on the opposite side of Myles Garrett. Or they're like, you know what, we need to take Shador Sanders. And I also looked at the Giants. Like the Giants, I hate to say this, but the Giants seem like the logical pick for Travis Hunter. They have some good guys up front, but they have no corners or anything like that. So I hate to say it. I think Travis Hunter is going to end up as a Giant.
Yeah.
And so, you know what? At that point, take Abdul Carter and then like I said, take the guards, the tackles, and the receivers later on in the draft. Like just keep building your defense.
I think that the Browns need to take Shador Sanders because, like you said, with their quarterback room, Deshaun Watson is not going to pan out. Like, and then other than that, they got Kenny Pickett. Like, no,
Well, it's just Cleveland will ever get to a Super Bowl.
they're gonna
Right.
they're gonna have to. They should take Shador Sanders. Like
should.
looking at it, like that's who they should take. And then, like you said, it's going to be up to the Giants. But
Do you guys give any credence to the rumors that Shador looks like he's going to fall now to the,
I don't know.
even
I think
as
that
far
might.
as 10?
I don't know, man. I think that might just be all window dressing. You know how like the closer you get to
Yeah,
the draft, there's been so I think every single opinion has been given so far. So
yeah,
people are just trying to think of like other things, you know.
yeah.
I guess he very well could, but no, I think people like it's game like it's prime time. Deion Sanders, Shador Sanders, you get box office.
What
He's got
about
a
that thing that Dion said Shador isn't going to go to certain teams, and teams interviewed him at the combine, and the teams that he didn't want to go to, he out and out acted wildly uninterested on purpose to let them know, don't draft me.
I don't know
And
because
if Cleveland is not on that list, then not only did Dion get his toes amputated, he got his brain amputated.
forgot about that. Deion Sanders also said that he thinks that Travis Hunter or Shador Sanders are gonna go to Cleveland. So I don't know if maybe he was just kind of throwing his son in
Hunter's
there
not his
as
kid. He
like
doesn't give a fuck about Hunter.
He does. He's basically like the fourth son of the Sanders
Yeah.
yeah,
family. That's been
No,
said
like
so many
I
I
times.
don't
understand.
know.
I'm being hyperbolic when I say he
No, I
doesn't give a
gotcha. I
fuck.
gotcha.
He's looking out for his kids.
To be
Yeah.
honest, I don't put credence into much of anything you hear from now to the draft about, oh, this person's shooting up draft boards, this person's falling. Like this team, other than the Titans with Cam Ward, anybody where it's like the talk around the league is that it seems like Travis Hunter is going to the Browns, or it seems like Travis Hunter is going to the Giants, or Abdul Carter might fall into the sixth round. Like I mean, not the sixth round, like the sixth pick. I don't, any of this, I think, is just being leaked from teams or agents just to try to stir up some sort of thing. I feel like you can't put much like credence into any of it. It definitely is interesting though. Like it's going to be very, because we all assume Cam Ward's going one to the Titans. Sure, great. So then it's like, what does
Book it.
Cleveland do? Because what you and I also don't think Cam Ward's going to turn out well. So I think Tennessee is going to be in the basement for like 6 years. Um,
How?
it's just I never I don't know. I
Watch
never
film.
have
You'll
confidence
be
in.
dazzled. You'll be
Maybe I will be,
dazzled.
and it doesn't matter because the Patriots are going to have like two Super Bowls by the time they're good. With Cleveland though, like you said, Al, they should take Shador Sanders. If you look at their quarterback room, they really should because you brought up their wide receiver room in their corners. Like, granted, when you draft someone like Travis Hunter, you find a place for him.
Yeah.
Like, like I know,
Especially
like the
when he can play
Patriot,
two positions.
exactly. Like for the Patriots have Gonzo and Cam Davis and Carlton Davis,
And also for the
but
Browns, you named
like,
one wide receiver. Everyone else on that team was.
so like like he could still go there, but like just kind of looking at it smarts wise, you got to take him, and then that goes to the Giants. So like, let's say Cleveland takes Shador Sanders, the Giants have either Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter. Do you want to take the guy who is almost a sure thing with Abdul Carter, like as sure of a thing as you can like think of, or do you take the wide receiver who can play corner, play wide receiver, but it's like, you don't know where you're going to use them? Like, do you want to take that big of a swing and then potentially miss as an ownership, as a coaching, or do you want to just take the sure thing? So like, there's a lot of different factors that go in. Or do you think, no, we're going to take Travis Hunter because if he pans out, we just saved our jobs for the next decade. Like you could look at it in a bunch of different ways. And
Yes.
I think the Patriots are going to end up staying at four unless Carter and Hunter are gone. If they're gone, trade back a few spots and draft Will Campbell. But assuming one of them is there, they're going to take one of them. But it's fascinating to think about like how these owners and coaches look at their teams. Because like there's so many reasons why they should or shouldn't take Hunter or Carter or Sanders or even Cam Ward if you want to get crazy. Like, the Titans could fucking screw around with everybody, say, no, we think Will Levis is the guy. We're going to take Travis Hunter. That's what they should do. If you really want to think about it, the Titans should take Travis Hunter. Pair Will Levis with Travis Hunter. Why not? Give him someone to throw to.
What are you talking about?
You know what I mean? Why
No,
wouldn't they?
It's not a
because
bad idea.
you can get a generational quarterback in Cam Ward.
So could Cleveland
Or,
though, or so could the
or
Giants. if he
Or you
fell.
can get a generational wide receiver to help your young
He
quarterback
won't fall.
move up. I don't know. And it's not going to happen because they are going to take Cam Ward. So it is what it
Yeah.
is. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Do you think that, so Al, you said that you hate that. I know you mentioned before last week, you're kind of coming around on Will Campbell. Do you, what is the reasoning that you don't like? I think I know what you're going to say, but what is the reasoning where you don't think that Will Campbell is worth the fourth overall pick?
It's not necessarily Will Campbell himself. I'm just always in the boat of if you're in the top five in the draft or you're even in the top 10, I'll keep it the top five. If you're in the top five, I like the skill players. I like the wide receiver, even like, and I'm not saying that they're going to take it, but like a running back, or like a linebacker or an edge
They
rusher or
better not
something like
take.
that.
They
I
If
better
know they
you
not
won't
were a
take
take.
Genty.
GM, Al,
They're not going to take Genty.
if you
What?
were a GM, you would be fired.
No, not
Yeah.
necessarily.
No, you
No,
would. You
no,
would. You would be packing up that little box with all the goodies on your desk,
no,
doing the
no.
walk of shame out to the parking lot. When you draft a skill player and your quarterback gets sacked 400 times, your team blows, and that skill
I'm
player
sorry, Liam.
doesn't get the fucking ball.
How many rounds are in the NFL draft again?
Many.
Okay, so second, third, fourth round, I can load up on
Yep.
tackles and everything else
Yeah,
too. You
But
can do
could.
that.
why wouldn't you take the up until this fucking bullshit measurement came out? Everybody thought and knew that Will Campbell was going to be a franchise left tackle for the length of his career. You come out with a length under an inch, basically. Now people are like, he might be a guard. He can't block anybody. What's going to happen? Listen, I I know that these combine things mean something and pro day measurements and all that. But you know what else means something? Tape, something that Joe Milton does not have. Look at the tape. The tape on the field shows that Will Campbell can be a starting left tackle. And like Al, I thought your thing was going to be, do you want to take a guard, even if he's a Pro Bowl guard, a guard at 4? I wouldn't even put any credence into that because Will Campbell has played left tackle his entire college career. Maybe a few snaps here and there, but we're talking generally 98% of the time or whatever. He's shown he can be a left tackle, a starting left tackle. He plays in the SEC. I don't know much about college football, but I know the SEC is a pretty legit group of teams.
Probably the best
He's not
conference in
playing
college
at
football.
he's not
Probably
he's not playing at fucking Lenore Ryan like fucking Kyle Duggar did.
Calvin, or I almost said Calvin. No, Jesus.
You know
But
what
yeah,
I
I know
mean?
what you mean.
Yeah,
I do.
so it's like I get the measurements, whatever, but just like Doug Marone said earlier this week, they said, listen, arm length is a thing, but if you have the footwork or the technique, arm length doesn't mean as much. So I don't even lend any sort of validation to the Will Campbell might be a left guard thing. I get why you'd think that. That's fine. Everybody has their opinions. It is what it is. In my eyes, Will Campbell is a left tackle. You draft him, you have him block Drake May's blindside for the next 10 years. You have them win 2 to 3 Super Bowls together. That's what you do. And I get it. You have the fourth pick. You want to get someone, a skill player. I understand that too, because I can see it from all the different angles. Like that's why I won't necessarily be upset no matter what the Patriots do, because I could see the benefits of every move that they would do. But in my eyes, we saw how bad this offensive line was. We saw Okorafor. We saw Vidarian Lowe. We saw even Caden Wallace over there. We saw just this mishmash of people. We saw the ghost of Trent Brown as well. Not last year, but year
Yeah,
before.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like let's just why not just solidify that position? And it is a deep draft for wide receivers and even running backs. So you can get a wide receiver in the second round and then you're still good to go. The defense is fine. You'll get a receiver. You have Diggs. Say you get, I don't know, Isaiah Bond, Trey Harris. You trade back up into the first and get what's his name, Ibuka or whatever from Texas. Like there's
Yeah.
so many options, and that's why I can't wait for the draft to get here. It's fascinating to me.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, you know why else I don't like Joe Milton? You know why else I'm glad he's gone? Because
Why?
that a-hole cost us the number one overall pick.
He did. This is
We
true.
don't want the first overall pick. We're not taking
Yes, you do.
Too much pressure.
You could have gotten a haul
You're
for
right.
that.
You're right.
Yes,
You're right.
yes,
You're right.
yes, you
You're
do.
right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. I know. I hate Joe Milton too.
He's like I'm with you. I too hate him. I
I know. I
understand.
fucking hate him. I get it. So I just want to do a quick little social experiment here to think about drafting offensive linemen. So I thought of the two greatest offensive lines I've ever seen in my history of watching football. The 2004 Kansas City Chiefs and the 10 years later 2014 Dallas Cowboys were the two greatest offensive lines I've ever seen. So I hop on first starting with the Chiefs because I'll never start with the fucking Cowboys, and that season sucked.
You could
So I
just pick
went
the
on.
Eagles from like last year or
Yeah,
something.
no. It's too recent, and it truly wasn't better than these two teams. So I went on and I looked at the Kansas City Chiefs, and there was one first round pick on that Hall of Fame offensive line, and literally every other one was undrafted. Makes no fucking sense to me. So my experiment blown out of the water. My theory is already kaput right there. But
Yeah, but that's a long time ago, two
no, it was.
decades.
So then I hopped to 2014, check out the Dallas Cowboys. Three first round picks, one undrafted, one fourth rounder. And I'm like,
Okay.
okay, skewed sample source. I literally looked at two teams, but those are the two best offensive lines I can think of in my history of watching football, just off the top of my head. And so completely different values there. I honestly don't know what to make of it. I just figured I'd throw it out there.
Yeah, no, I think it's one of those things where it's almost like, listen, you can there's so many factors that go into it, man, where it's like
Yeah.
maybe like did one of those guys go undrafted because he had an injury? Like almost like how
Yeah.
Gronk fell. Well, what Gronk was drafted in the fourth round, right? If I remember
Second.
correctly. Second. So maybe it's like, everybody thought like he slipped a little bit because of his injury history. Hernandez slipped a little bit, rightly so, turned out. But like
Honestly,
because of his
can't
off the
imagine
field
why.
stuff, like I mean,
Model
David
citizen.
Andrews. David Andrews,
Yeah.
undrafted.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of players that it's kind of,
And
but
when
I
I think about it, a lot of great offensive linemen were undrafted. So
yeah, but I think that's
maybe
just
there's some credence to what Al says. Because I also think of great offensive linemen. I think of Orlando Pace. I think of Jonathan Ogden. I think of Eric Fisher, who wasn't a great offensive tackle, but he was the first overall pick, and he fucking
pretty damn
still,
good.
pretty sure he's still playing. The dude was
Pretty
super
damn good.
reliable for years, above average, never spectacular, never the best tackle in the league. But yeah, like, if you're spending a high round pick on a tackle, I like to think it usually serves you pretty well, unless you're the Jaguars when you pick Luke Jokel. That one fucked up. So I don't know. I really don't know shit. I'm just
You know
fucking
what?
thinking
I
out
think
loud
it's
here.
just it almost in like it's not a good way to like talk on a podcast, but like it's almost you can that's I think what you're saying here and Al, what you're saying too with the draft being deep and Liam, you saying like it's kind of, sometimes it's high draft picks, sometimes it's not. It shows that the Patriots really they're in a win-win. They take Campbell first, cool. He'll probably pan out. If they take Connerly in the second or someone, there's a couple of other names I'm forgetting right now, but they could take other people in the second round and that could pan out as well. It's like there is no like the Patriots did a really good job this offseason when it comes to setting themselves up for the draft where they can do a few things. Because, like, if we're looking at it, really the only glaring weakness on this team is left tackle. Everything else is varying degrees of, A plus, B, C, whatever. Everything else is covered. Wide receivers, Stephon
See,
Diggs, Kayshawn Booty, Pop Douglas. That's a fine top three. They'll add more, but that's a fine top three. Their guards, Layden Robinson, Cole Strange will be left guard. Cole Strange, Jake Andrews, the dude they just got from the Vikings, Bradbury, he might be the center. Right guard, they're fine. Right tackle, they're fine. Tight end, running back, like they defense, they're fine. The Patriots are actually in a very good spot to do a bunch of different things. So that's why, like, I love hearing all our different things here because there's really no wrong way to go. Even if they want to take Abdul Carter, which that would be my least favorite thing because you're just
really?
adding
'Cause
to a
I was going
strength.
to say, I think the general consensus from all three of us is if Carter, by some act of God, ends up there at four, doesn't matter who's on the board, you fucking take him.
See, I currently right now, and this is how we've been ending the podcast. Al, you said where it's like, who would you want the Patriots to pick? Whatever. If Carter's there, I would listen to what trade offers are there. I wouldn't hate him being on the
Yeah.
team because I think you have him,
Trust me,
you
if
have
you can get a
Williams, Keon
RG3 haul
White.
for the guy, yeah, if you can get the
What
fucking
if
Ricky Williams treatment, so be it.
what if
I'll tell
you
you guys
got
what. I was gonna say, I'll tell you guys what. I'm
yep,
on PFF right now. Let's do to end the episode. the first round, just the first round, and see where it takes us.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see.
Let's just do it. I'm just gonna
Go ahead.
pull it up on my phone. I got it here.
Yeah.
We'll do
No, because
one
it's
round,
interesting.
and let's explore. Let's see what types of trades PFF would throw out there. Let me just make sure I
This is
have it all.
this is what I did when I did my like off season thing when the Patriots took like 16 linebackers.
Right.
This is what I did.
All right. So I'm gonna start it now, and I'm gonna tell you just the first four picks. So Titans
Cam
take
Ward's gonna
Cam
be the
Ward.
first. Yep.
Cleveland takes Travis
Yeah.
Hunter. Oh, this is interesting. The Giants took Mason Graham at 3 in this one.
That's not gonna happen.
I know.
You want
But
to do it
let's
again?
look-
Do you want to redo it?
I'll redo it if you want.
Because I don't think that's going to happen, dude. Mason Graham. I saw mock drafts of the Patriots taking Mason Graham at 4. I would be very upset.
I'd be psyched.
I'd be
All right,
like,
here,
don't get me
redo.
wrong. Like, it'd be like levels. Like, I'd be upset happy if that.
Yeah.
Makes
All right. Let's. No matter what.
Yeah,
no
redo,
matter what
redo.
happens with this one, let's just do it.
Yeah, we'll
Let's
go.
Just,
We'll
Okay. Titans take Cam Ward. Cleveland takes Abdul Carter. Giants take Travis Hunter. So now
This
Tet's
is
on the
realistic.
board. Mason Graham's on the board. Campbell's on the board. Genty's on the board.
Tet.
Today Barron's on the board. There's a bunch of
What are the trade offers?
The trade offers are as follows.
That's what I want to know.
We have. Hold on. Where are they? I'm just trying to see where they. I hate this. It's like.
Because I think that if you could move back a few spots and still take Tet McMillan, Will Campbell, Kelvin Banks, someone like that, you fucking do it. Because you'll probably get an additional second round pick. Fuck yeah,
So
you
you
do
could.
it.
So you could trade with the Jets and get number 7.
Is that it?
You
What
could-
else are they offering?
Well, no, I'm just saying you can. It's basically saying like 6 teams that would be interested in the trade.
I would 1,000% do that.
Okay, so that's one of them. And again, this is just one pick. It's not like a package, but Chargers at 22, Packers at 23, Vikings at 24, Lions at 28, Bills at 30.
So I wouldn't go out of the top 10 if I was trading
Yeah,
the
I
fourth
agree.
pick. I would, and even that I might not even go out of like the top 7. Like I'd go with like I think what the Raiders are 6th. I think that's what they are.
Would
So
you
maybe-
do the Jets and trade number 4 for number 7 and a 2026 second rounder?
I'd probably want more than that.
I
They're
would
moving up-
see my
What are they
thing.
moving
I
up
would
3
rather have
spots?
another pick in this year's draft.
See, I'd rather a first next year.
No, I don't think you'll get a first. I don't think they'll give up. They'll move up and give a first. I'd
Future
rather-
assets are way less valuable.
if they were offering their pick and then like a second rounder this year, or even a third rounder this year, yeah, I'd do it hands down. Because you can still
Okay,
move
how about
back.
how about 7? How about 7 and a 2025 third round?
That's this year, right? 2025.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'd do that. Yep, in a heartbeat. You have 3 third-round picks now.
It's not good value. You're giving up the 4th pick for the 7th, and then you're getting a third in return.
Think
It's a
of it. Hold on,
third
what
worth
is-
3 extra picks.
Yeah, I have no idea. All right,
That-
so we explored
I'm
the
not
trade
doing
option.
it.
Here's the
I'm
absolute
fucking
last one.
taking-
Dude, you would have
Absolute
3
last
third
one.
rounders. Oh, that'd be perfect.
This is the absolute last one, and we're gonna take somebody at 4 to end the episode. We're just gonna take
Okay.
somebody.
Cool.
All right, last
Technically.
round right here. Here we go. Set it. Good. Here we go. Okay, Cam Ward, Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter. Who are we taking it for?
You guys
Wait.
know my pick.
Cam Ward's on the board?
No. Ward,
Oh.
Carter, Hunter.
If Cam
Yeah,
Ward
well-
was on the board, you trade back because someone's going to give you a haul
Yeah.
for it.
If Cam
Yeah,
Ward's
But no,
on the
you
board, you take
you guys
him.
know my pick. My pick's Will Campbell, hands down.
Will. Oh my gosh. Liam.
Well, technically, Liam is William. But I'd say Will
Tet?
Campbell or Tat, one of the two. It'd be tough. Tat would be so sick. But
I'll
yeah.
take Campbell. I'll take Campbell. I don't
Yeah,
love
All right,
it.
see?
so we'll all agree Campbell.
See, if Carter and Hunter aren't there, you have to take Will Campbell. You have
Yeah.
to. If Carter's there, then you probably take him. Maybe see if you can
Yeah.
get a good draft
Carter's
package.
the layup
but-
pick.
Yeah, Carter. Because I'm also looking. Can you imagine this defense? Real, and I know we're gonna get out of here. Don't worry. Could you imagine Keon White, Christian Barmore, who's expected to be back? Mike Vrabel said, the signs are pointing in the right direction. Milton Williams, I already mentioned Keon White, and then you also have Abdul Carter. Holy shit. Oh, Drake might only have to put up like 10 points.
It does sound deadly.
Yeah, so like I see, so I can easily talk myself into being happy about that, even though I'd rather have a left tackle or maybe trade back and get a receiver or whatever happens to be. I'd be happy with that too. So yeah, I think the Patriots are in a really, really good spot right now in the fourth spot. Of course, we'd like them to have the first pick if they could have lost that game, whatever. But it doesn't
Thanks a
matter.
lot, Joe Milton.
It doesn't matter. He's gone. They're in the fourth spot. We'll see what they do. Still got some time until the draft, but it is creeping up.
What is
Gonna
it?
be
14 days?
That's what I was gonna say.
No.
When is the draft?
It's
It's in
20 days?
18 days.
18 days.
wait,
24th.
what day is the draft? Is it
It's the 24th.
the 20? Okay, because I'm gonna okay, cool. Because I will be on okay. I'll be back from vacation then. So that's plenty of time. And also WrestleMania is the weekend before that, so I can't really miss that, guys. Some crazy shit. Stone Cold might show up. So we gotta watch. We gotta watch.
gonna
Oh, I
find
just
a
realized
new
I'm on school
co-host.
vacation that week. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. So okay, yeah, cool. I think yeah, I love the Patriots positioning right now. I think it's gonna be interesting to see what happens.
Raising.
Yeah, a lot of positioning, on the couch, wherever it happens to be. So yeah, I don't know. Do you guys have any final thoughts? Any kind of goodbye words to Joe Milton before we get out of here? Liam, looking at you.
I already said, man.
Goodbye, Joe
Liam's just
Milton. Goodbye, Travis Hunter.
Furious.
Yeah, probably goodbye, Travis Hunter. Probably going to be Abdul Carter. He's probably going to be a Patriot, which I'm fine with.
That'd be
all right.
great.
So this was episode 175. Tuck Rule Takes for Mike, who's me, Al, and Liam. We are leaving. We will see you guys next week. I don't see an emergency podcast happening unless something fucking crazy happens. I doubt we'll have any emergency pods until the draft, if anything happens. So, yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Sports Spider, Couch Guy Sports on the trail. We'll see you. Adios, sweet feet.
3 feet.